and welcome to this edition of ZoeTV. Today we have a lot to talk about, so you're going to hear from our special guest today, which is Dr. John Denboer, and we have our pillar profile. That's going to be Gary Miles from Providence Place. He's going to tell you about some great technology that we have going on over there. And we have recipes from Jake. He's going to share some things with you that you'll love making on your own. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this segment of ZoeTV.
Hello friends, my name is Jacob Van Kooten. I'm the executive chef at Glencroft Center for Modern Aging, and today we are going to be making roasted vegetable quesadillas. Alright, so the first step that we're going to do with our roasted vegetables is we're going to have to prep all of the vegetables. We're going to toss them in some olive oil. We're going to bake them off at 360 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. So the first vegetable that we're going to prep is going to be the green zucchini. With the green zucchini, all we're going to do is we're going to lop off the root ends, and we're going to slice this guy in half. It's a very large vegetable, but it roasts better as a whole vegetable, or I guess a half, better than cutting it up into smaller pieces. When you cook it at that temperature for that long into smaller pieces, it just disintegrates. It's a water-based vegetable and it just falls apart. We don't want that in our quesadilla. Next, we're going to take our red and green peppers and we're going to take off the tops and the bottoms. What that's going to do is going to expose the core. We're still going to use these nice tops and bottoms, but we'll get back to those. So we're going to cut right down, and what you're going to do is you're going to lay that pepper flat, take your knife flat so your hand is nowhere near the blade, and you're going to take out that core just by slicing down the sides. So now you have that core that we don't also want inside that quesadilla. So now you're going to take the top and the bottom, and you're going to just take out the core, and we're going to keep those nice pieces. We're going to repeat the same process for the green. Take off the top, take off the bottom, slice down it for safety. Now you want a nice sharp knife, especially for something like a pepper. It has a pretty tough skin. Just like so. We have the bottom and we have the top. We're going to place all these in a stainless steel bowl so we have some room on our cutting board. The last piece to our roasted veg is our onion. Red onion, we're going to take off the core, take off the top and the bottom, and it really makes it so it can sit on the cutting board nice and easy. It's more stable for you to cut, it's safer. We're going to take off that first layer of skin for the onion. And we're just going to julienne that. We're just going to do nice long strips, because when this cooks down, all of the sugars from the onion are going to caramelize out. It's going to bring out all the flavors with this olive oil. We're going to use a nice heat on that. Just like so. So now that we have our onion cut, we're going to take some olive oil, extra virgin, and we're going to toss some of that pepper first. We're going to roast these separately because they're three different vegetables and they don't roast at the same times. You kind of have to watch them. You want to make sure it's nice and coated. This oil is what's going to give it that nice roasted flavor at that high temp. It's going to really put a lot of really nice color on it, but it's also going to allow it to break down the peppers. So you're then going to take a cookie sheet and you're going to put the cookie sheet, put the vegetables right on the cookie sheet. Now, if you see your veg begin to curl, make it in more pliable pieces. This one's laying flat, so we don't necessarily need to, but we'll make it for later. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna put those in the oven at 360 for 20 to 25 minutes. We're then gonna take our zucchini and we're gonna repeat that same process. Extra virgin olive oil, just drizzle that right over the zucchini, and you're just gonna make sure that you get nice even coating all over that. That oil is really gonna help it give it that color and that texture that we're looking for this roasted quesadilla. We're gonna place that on the sheet tray, and that is also gonna join those peppers. So the final component is the red onions. And we do those last for a couple of reasons. There's a lot of that residual oil, so we don't need to add a whole lot more oil. We're kind of saving. Get them nice and coated. And you can do these one of two ways. You can do the onions in a nice pan on a really high heat for the same amount of time, or you can do them like we do here in the restaurant. We have a nice big flat top and we just set them and almost forget them, and hopefully they don't burn. So we have those nice and coated, and those will go cook now. So after that 20 to 25 minutes at roasting, you're gonna wanna cool these down because you're gonna have enough vegetables that's gonna be able to make you more than just the one single quesadilla. So I've already done that. We have those coming out right now. So the next part of it is we're gonna take some of those nice green red peppers. So see the nice coating, nice oil. It really blistered the skin, but it made it that it's gonna be sharp to the tooth, but it's not gonna be soft. So from there, we're gonna julienne some nice strips to add right to that quesadilla. You can mix and match, it doesn't matter. You can add red, you can add the green, because they're all going to get mixed in the same time, because you want a nice even amount of each. Okay, so our zucchini, as you see, has some nice color. It's roasted. It is a little bit flimsy, but it's not mushy. We don't want it. We want it to be sharp to the tooth. So lay that flat so you have that nice skin, and just make some real nice horizontal cuts. So we get nice long pieces, good presentation of that skin mixed in to all that. So we're gonna mix these in. We have those caramelized onions. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna put them all in a stainless steel bowl and mix them together so we get all those vibrant colors together. All right, so the next step of our grilled vegetable quesadilla is we're gonna take this nice whole wheat. I like whole wheat because it has a lot better vitamins and mineral distribution. We're gonna take this Monterey Jack cheese and we're just gonna cover that bottom half, just like so. Now I have a hot plate, so I am able to kind of get the whole quesadilla on one side. I'm using a nice Teflon coated spatula. I'm gonna get that butter cooking, get that grill nice and hot. And the butter is basically gonna add some flavor. It's also gonna add a lot of color to our actual quesadilla. So now that we have the butter going, we're gonna take our filling and we're gonna take about 3 ounces of that filling. And we really wanna make sure, same thing, you're getting some of that zucchini, you're getting those peppers, you're getting that onions, because every single bite, if you shared it with your wife, your husband, your family, everybody gets a little taste of something. So after that, you're gonna take a little bit more cheese, about 2.5 ounces, and you're just gonna put that right on top, because that's gonna be the glue for the other side. We put the cheese on the first side, now we're putting it on top on the other side. So now we're gonna take that, and we're just gonna fold it right in half. Just kind of press it down, and that's gonna all melt together beautifully. So we take that quesadilla, and we put that right on that nice warm butter. So you're probably gonna cook this about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how hot or your pan is, your oven is, your stove is, or a hot plate like I have. I have this turned at about 300 degrees. If you get too much hotter, it's not gonna melt the cheese, it's not gonna warm the very center. I love that ooey gooey cheese pull when we take that out together. So you're gonna give it a nice couple minutes, and then you're gonna take that high temp spatula and you're just gonna kind of come to the front of the end and you're gonna fold it over. So now both sides are gonna get a lot of that nice butter. And we're making sure that we're not overcooking it as the cheese is melting. All right, so now our quesadilla is nice golden brown. We're gonna take that high temp spatula, pull it onto our cutting board. Gonna take our plate. Now, depending how many friends and family you have over is how many you're gonna cut it into. I'm gonna cut mine into 4. And we really want them to see all of that layering. We'll do this one this way so you can just really see inside there. I've also prepared a fresh pico. Just had cilantro, some lime juice, garlic, onion, and some of those vine-ripe tomatoes. We're gonna do a little fresh sour cream. Just a little dollop, just like that. Again, my name is Jacob Van Kooten. I am the executive chef for Glencroft Center for Modern Aging, and this is roasted grilled vegetable quesadilla.
Well, today we are joined by having Dr. John Denboer with us. And we know that a lot of you have had questions regarding smart brain aging. And we wanted to give him an opportunity to answer some of those questions, tell us what's been going on. So welcome, Dr. Denboer.
Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. So Dr. Denboer, I know you've been affiliated with Glencroft for such a long time, and we've gotten to work together, and we'll get into that a little bit later with ZoeLife, but we kind of wanted to bring you on and set the table for what's been going on with your company, kind of what residents' expectations can be going forward, and maybe some of the transitional periods that's happened on this campus over the last month or so. So we're gonna let you take it away and kind of tell us what's been going on.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it. And yes, we've been affiliated with Glencroft now for about 3.5 years, and really have enjoyed that experience very much. And we have 2 new clinicians out here that will be doing cognitive therapy and occupational therapy, and they are Aubrey and Eloise. And so we did move from a room near Henry's to a conference room at the Towers.
Good. So how would, if we've had so many people coming down to the Performance Center, like, where are they? How do I get a hold of Denboer and his team? Like, they want to be very specific. They want to work with Dr. Denboer and Smart Brain and his team. And so that's why we said, okay, we want you to come in and do that explanation, but how do they know they're reaching you guys, and how can they find those 2 ladies you just mentioned?
Absolutely. So I'll give you 2 phone numbers for people to call. We've been calling all the residents that are interested. Our phone number to our office remains the same number, and it is 480-993 3879. That's 480-993-3879. And all the services are done under my supervision. We're a licensed facility that's licensed to bill insurance and Medicare. I do want to give all the residents my personal cell phone, and they should not feel afraid to use it in any case should they have a question. I want them to feel like they shouldn't have to go through a middle person. If they have a question or concern, aside from talking to you, they can always talk to me about it. And my personal cell phone is 602-510-9217. 602-510-9217. And you can call me at any time.
Very good. I think we should take a step back, and we've had so many new residents move onto campus that have never been exposed to what your training methods are and all of the Smart Brain. So why don't you give a snapshot of what a new resident or somebody that's never worked with your team members, what do they do? What's some of the things that you do for them?
Yeah, the idea is what we want to do is we cannot prevent dementia, but we help maximize people's cognitive functioning, their brain functioning as they age. So we're focused on getting people that are healthy, like the Glencroft residents that are participating in the Center for Modern Aging, and we want them to engage in new and novel learning exercises that are research-based, that are Medicare approved. And what that does is it helps release a chemical in the brain, and it serves to the brain to stop shrinking. And so we can help mitigate what we call mitigating any potential dementia. Okay. And so we do that through a combination of mental exercise, and then what Aubrey does on campus is we're adding something to it, which is a little bit of occupational therapy, where people can work on independent activities of daily living.
Very cool.
Oh, that's great.
That is cool.
Yeah.
We've had so many of your the residents that have worked with your team that have also
I was just gonna
participated
say
in
that,
beta.
Yes.
And it's really cool to see the two working cohesively together, right? The workouts, the eating better, and the learning, and then what you provide, I think, is the broad, holistic approach to what you're talking
And
about.
seeing a difference.
Yes.
I think that's
Yes.
a big part of it, is really recognizing and seeing a difference from the program.
the way you guys, why it's such an honor to be here is that the programming, the way that it's set up, attracts people that want to be very active in terms of doing a well-rounded, holistic experience, a wellness experience, and then we find that the residents here, as you know, are much more proactive regarding their health care, and it with things like Center for Modern Aging, it's a kind of a great fit. So we're a research-based program that's medically driven, and we like to think of ourselves as simply one piece of the pie of the whole wellness experience.
That's very cool. So
Wonderful.
you obviously do this at other campuses.
Yes.
So while we're not trying to toot our own horn with ZoeLife,
Yeah.
do you see?
Well, yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are.
ZoeTV.
Yes.
But do you see this approach of what we're trying to accomplish here with having a performance center and having this fall prevention strategy and eating this plant-based Mediterranean diet and our education program? Do you see other campuses following suit, or are we kind of still the abnormal piece in the puzzle?
You know, I would say, unfortunately, you're still the abnormal piece of the puzzle. I was telling Aubrey and Eloise when they were coming over, I was saying, when they were first coming over to talk to you guys and to talk to Kay, I was saying, you're really honored because you're in our best community. We're in 55 communities throughout the state right now, and we'll be in 75 in a month or two. And we feel grateful to be in all the communities that we're in, and they range quite significantly. But this is really a cutting-edge place, which in some sense I'm glad for you, but in other senses I kind of wish it wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
And yet we say thank you because we really like being abnormal right now, as far in comparison to other
you're right.
communities.
Yeah. I always, this is incredibly, interesting and cutting edge. At the same time, I think there's some things that are intuitively obvious about the way we should be working with older people, and I do wish that other communities would take your sort of your methodology and to do some of those sort of things.
Well, I think what was so great coming out of beta 1 through 4 was we obviously got so much data in terms of all prevention strategies and all of the testing and assessments that we did in this room, but getting what you did, because you do your own bit of assessing and whatnot. And I know we had many conversations of, wow, this campus from my, all my data I'm getting, this campus is really starting to shine, and it sheds light on this approach is the right approach, and hopefully others follow suit. So I think the data has been big, right?
Yeah, the data is huge. I mean, I always tell my students and the people in my company is that, there's certain things that we can do, but if we really can't measure it, then we really can't change it.
Right.
In some respect.
Right.
And so, we do measurement quite a bit because we need to for Medicare standards, but we also want to show mitigation, and we want to improve our product similar to what you all are doing. So, and again, we feel very blessed to be just interacting on campus and to be in such a beautiful environment, but to know that our program is just one in terms of the complement of others.
Very good. Well, I know you gave your phone numbers. Obviously, new residents or guests can reach out at any point, right? It's not too late. You don't have to start date or anything.
No.
New people start all the time.
Yeah, we're going to be doing another presentation here fairly soon, but anybody can start at any time. And Aubrey and Eloise are on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays now.
You've been such a long-standing part of our team here.
Partner.
It's part of this kind of show is to get someone like you, is one of us out in front of situations like this to the horse's mouth. Like
Make
for us
sure
to go
that
explain it doesn't do
everybody-
justice to it.
Everybody has the correct information.
That's right.
Right,
So-
absolutely, and I appreciate the patience and the resilience from the residents. I wouldn't really expect anything less from the folks here at Glencroft, but I appreciate people asking questions and being direct and sticking with us and questioning. These are all really good things, and I really anticipate moving forward in a positive direction.
Good. Perfect. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being on our show
Well, it's
today.
amazing to be in this room again
Yes.
because I remember I think you guys were just moving equipment in at one
That's
point,
great.
and
We're
it's
super
awesome to
proud
see
of it, and
Yes.
it's fun to see it buzzing. So
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
appreciate it,
Hey,
Doc.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, Amelia.
much.
Really
It was
appreciate
great
it.
seeing
Yeah,
you
thank
today.
All right, guys, for today's fitness tip, what I thought I would show you is how we utilize this foam roller, not just for stretching or for circulatory work and massage, but for core strength, balance when it comes to seniors working on fall prevention strategies. This is an amazing tool. So, Tom, what I want to have you do is you're going to be laying on this foam roller. It's going to go right down your spine. So when Tom lays down, you're going to see he's going to have his head on one end. It's going to go right down his spine, and then we're going to have that tailbone down here. Okay, so it's going to go right down, and no matter how tall you are, usually most people can navigate head to a tailbone working pretty good. Again, this is a pretty advanced exercise. So those of you that don't have a foam roller in your place, that's okay. We have a bunch of them here in the Performance Center. You can come down, we can help you. For those of you at home and have one of these, even if you're a younger, athlete, high school, college, we do this a lot with those as well, working on their core strength in their hips. So Tom's gonna give us a perfect example though of why fall prevention strategies are met by using this little guy right here. So Tom, go ahead and lay down your spine on her. Good, and you can see how safely it gets on that. Grody, scoot down just a touch. Good, a little bit more, you got more room? Yeah, good. All right, so you can see, if you're by yourself and you go to do this, you're just gonna have to sit there and adjust until you feel it on your head and on your tailbone, but he's in a good spot right there, okay? Now the first exercise is this. There's two of them that we love, and there's one additional one with a band. But this first one is, Grody, I'm gonna have you put your legs straight out. So legs are extended, arms are to the side. Now, the biggest stressor we have on this is to try to stay in neutral spine, meaning his stomach is pushing down into this foam roller. We don't want a rounded back where you get that little bit of pressure in your low back. We want him pressed down. Looks really good. Okay, Grody, we're gonna do the first one. You're gonna take your right arm way back behind you. Okay, I'm gonna move this foot out a little bit to help his balance. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna work his right arm into a bent right knee. Okay, so you're gonna see him bring it in, touch, he's gonna extend, and when he extends, what's critical is he's not gonna try to touch the ground with his heel. Okay, we're gonna go 10 in a row, Grody. So bring it in, extend out. There's 1. 2, again, he's staying neutral spine. His stomach is engaged hard right here, and that knee is shortened, that muscle is shortened, then he's going to go long on that hip flexor. Okay, building the strength of his core and his hip right here, and having that proprioceptive coordination is going to go a long way when he goes and walks and gets tired, that his muscles are strong enough to compensate for a fall. So he would normally do 10 to 15 in a row, and then we would go to the other side. Grody, let's show him the other side. What I would say is everybody's got a more dominant side to them, so always, inevitably, one side's gonna be harder, okay? And for most of my guys, girls, this left side is a little bit trickier, okay? It's a coordination thing, it's a strength thing, but you can see Tom's been working on this exercise for quite a while with me, that he has developed a pretty good balance between the two sides. So again, he'll do about 3 sets of 10 to 5 sets of 10 here in the Performance Center on this particular exercise. Okay, Grody, go ahead and relax. Now, the second exercise on this foam roller that we absolutely love is going to be a cross. Now, what you're gonna see the difference for Tom is gonna be when he comes and does his cross, right arm to left leg, his head and chest is gonna come up off that foam roller, and he's doing more of a crunch for his midsection. Okay, so Grody, right arm back. When his left leg comes up, it's gonna be knee straight. Yep, straighten her. Good, good. And that head and chest nice and high, and then back down, and then fire it again. So he is coming up. Yeah, his core is engaged. He's really lifting that head and chest off that foam roller, and he's breathing. Squeeze down on that core. Great work, Grody. Just keep firing. Go a couple more. Okay, now let's do the other side just for balance. Okay, so switch hands. Okay, good. Now go. Opposite, head and chest up. Perfect. Now what you can see him do is the hand that's down, okay, is really helping leverage his balance. As he gets stronger in this exercise, what we do with a lot of our guys is end up taking that hand off the ground and up on his chest, where then he's only working his core, okay? We're a little ways to get to that point, but there's a lot of levels to these exercises that we're playing in. So he is showing off how high he's coming off. That is so impressive. I can't state that enough. It is so fun to watch a senior working on their fall prevention strategies on athletic moves like this, like we would train football, soccer, baseball kids. Go ahead and relax, Tom. Great work. Okay, last way we use this foam roller is, go ahead, Grody, grab this band, get some tension on it. You can wrap it tight in your hands. Good. Okay, obviously the tension of that band is dependent on the color. We have easy, moderate, heavy, all sorts of resistance. Grody, raise it up just a little bit. Now, what he's gonna work is that wide range of motion, bring it back, breathe. Okay, and he's letting his shoulders collapse around that foam roller and then bringing it back and breathing. Okay, so this is one of our warm-up exercises to get some circulation going around his shoulders so that when we start lifting weights, he's already got blood moving and we don't risk him getting an injury. So he'll end up doing about 5-6 sets of 10 to get a nice little circulatory work done before lifting weights. And relax, Grody. Okay, that is today's fitness tip. Again, foam rollers, if you don't have one in your place, you can come down to the Performance Center and use it. We can help you. But if you have one at home, really cool to think of a maybe alternate use for it like we showed here today. Thanks.
Well, today we have one of our favorite people with us today. So Gary Miles Jr. is with us. And this is our pillar profile. And Gary is the pillar director, the social pillar director over at Providence Place, because we just, of course, started Zoe Life over at Providence Place. It's expanding all over the campus. And we're really excited to talk to him today about everything that he's doing, the new programming, and some really fun technology that we've got going on over there. So welcome, Gary.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
So we started, when did we start with the beta over there? November 11th, right?
Yes.
November 11th. So, you know, Gary, beyond being our pillar director of social pillar, he is also our team captain for one of the beta test teams.
Okay.
So he is in charge of 5 of these residents and orchestrating their activities and their fun. Tell us how that is, man. How are you doing with all of it?
It's been overwhelming.
I knew he was going to say that.
But it's been fun. You know, it's been fun seeing the residents go through this, you know, giving them that sense of purpose, you know, giving them something to look forward to, you know, just in some private conversations, you know, that we've had, you know, the residents, they've really latched on and dug into this. You know, I was just, you know, in regards to the pool time, you know, how we've had to switch up things. You know, Karen, you know, I was telling her about her pool time next week. She had this look on her face, like, I'm like, are you okay? Like, I didn't know. She was like, but no, she was stoked. That was, she just didn't know what to do with herself.
Sure.
You know, she was just excited.
Oh, that's
you know,
great.
and speechless, you know, at the same time, you know, but she's looking forward.
That's super cool.
Well, and I know they had some of the residents in the pool today. So
Yes.
it was so exciting to go in and watch them in there, because this has been long in coming, really, to have the ability to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So tell me, your perspective's unique because you're able to oversee a team and you're kind of hands-on with, you know, for sure these 5. But like, you were in these conversations from the beginning. So to watch Zoe Life play out over there and being able to be hands-on and in the fire with your team and do some of the stuff, Has there been any surprises with what you've seen? Are you a little like surprised they're able to do as much as they are, or is it what you thought would happen so far?
I wouldn't say anything has surprised me.
Okay.
I mean, the residents at Providence Place, when given an opportunity, they will take an opportunity. You give them an inch, they'll stretch it a mile.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they do.
That's good.
Over there. But
Yes.
just in regards to, I guess, I can't really say just yet. You know, maybe a couple beta tests. You know, a few beta tests from
Sure.
now.
Yeah,
You know,
good.
You know, then after that, you know, just to see how it really spreads through.
Right.
That's-
You'll have a very clear
Through the
picture
building,
then.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you brought over what you're utilizing for our virtual reality experience
Yes.
with our beta testers at Providence Place. And I
This
know
is amazing.
Millie got to experience it.
I did. I got
week or two
I
ago,
got
right?
to try it out, and I got to swim with beluga whales and sea turtles. It is the most amazing experience that you would ever imagine.
So tell us some, I mean, you got so many unique stories when these residents put this on, because we can do such cool things
Yes.
like we plug an address in and they can go visit where they grew
Right.
up, or they can, like you said, play with the whales, or they can experience this National Geographic
Right.
where they're in a canoe and they're traveling around with glaciers.
They can see places they've never been.
and it's totally
Yes.
an immersive experience,
Yes.
right? Where they're underwater
in
and
it.
it's like
Yeah.
there's water everywhere. So
They're in it.
being that you're hands-on with these guys, give us some fun experiences you've seen.
The residents have really enjoyed it. You know, I'll use one resident, you know, did fishing. You know, actually watching him. I'll do this as an example.
Yeah.
All right, so he's fishing. He's caught his fish. And as he's reeling it in, he has to, after it pops out the water, he's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's just that, you know,
Yeah.
really,
Yes,
you know,
can see he's
that
experiencing
real.
it.
you know,
It's
it's
so
like
real.
really get into it. You know,
Yes.
they're looking around, you know, and it's like, oh my, you know, like another resident just this week, you know, we were doing the first steps, you know, just so that they can learn how to use the controllers, just so that they can get their feet wet in the virtual reality, but just playing around with it, like throwing a little airplane, you know, letting off a little rocket. He's like, oh my, oh my, oh my.
Isn't that
you know, it's just
amazing?
like,
That's
oh
super
man,
cool.
I just thought it was amazing.
Yes.
Then got him on the Beat Saber.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
After that, you know, he's, you know,
Hitting the blocks.
you know, poking at these things,
There's-
man.
it's
He's like,
That's super cool.
Unlimited.
And you got to
It
tell
really
us,
is.
tell us about the roller coaster.
Oh,
so we have two people that are already addicts. You know, when we first started, you know, the roller coaster, you know how it gives you that warning, you know, it's like, you know, start off soft, you know, sometimes there may be motion sickness. Two ladies are like, I want to go fast right now, you know. So
But these
they
are somebody
opt
that's been
out.
wanting to do a roller coaster for a long
Yes.
time, right?
Yes.
They were like, I just want to ride a roller
Yes.
coaster. So this is like a long time coming for them.
Yeah, you know, and then there was one of the ladies, she was watching someone just get their feet wet, and she wasn't really certain about it. But then once she got on that roller coaster, when she got the headset on herself, she's already was talking to me today. She's like, I can't wait to get back on that roller coaster, you know?
So tell us about the one you put on extreme level, right? The hardest roller coaster you could get.
Yes, the
And what was it
Armageddon.
called?
The Armageddon.
And it had
Armageddon?
zombies?
Yes, it has zombies in it.
oh my
you know,
goodness.
But they love it.
They ate it up.
Oh,
They-
you're kidding.
They ate it up.
Oh, and Gary even said this virtual reality wasn't
Yes.
enough. He was going to bring in some industrial fans to blow on them at the same time so he could
That would've
maximize the
been
experience.
It's a work in progress. I did for one of them while they were on the roller coaster. I got behind their wheelchair and I gave
Oh,
them a
you
little shake. She's
did.
like, oh, you know.
That's great.
Super cool.
Oh, fun.
Well, I mean, you're the best person we could have hope for
Absolutely.
to be executing this
Yeah.
fun type of stuff. And the way we kind of structured it, so everybody knows over there at Providence Place is, you know, team one would come down and work with our rehab team in a group workout.
Right.
It's just an activity-based workout, but they're doing range of motion work and they're working with, you know, some speech and they're having some circuit training and
Right.
some very cool stuff. But then they transition and two of them will go over to Gary and get this kind of fun.
That's right.
And the two go to the workout side and they go back and forth and it's like this, the senses are all being maximized.
Right.
And then, you know, that day looks different. Coming off a Bible study, coming off of a nutritional lecture with Barb, and they're touching all the pillars that ZoeLife is really brought up on. And everything we did in IL, nothing has changed over there.
Right.
And they're doing their own Wednesday lectures, right? We did a fall prevention lecture last week, and it was like, they're craving
Right.
this. And
I
that's
love
everything
it.
we had hoped
Yes.
You know,
It
and it's
is.
like, you know, virtual reality, it's not real life, but one thing I've found enjoyable about this is that it allows people to do things they would like to do without exceeding the limitations that they may have.
Right.
You know, it's like they're able to do things
Yeah.
that they've wanted to do.
Right.
You know, it's accessible. It's right there.
Yeah.
They're capable right where they're at
Right.
to do it. You know, so that's really cool.
That's a
I
great way
love
to say
it.
it.
Yeah,
'Cause
it is a really good way of putting it.
We're going to have this Oculus Quest available in AL, and the goal is as ZoeLife expands throughout the campus,
Yes.
the technology is going to come along with it. And so what Beta is doing over Providence Place is we're really experiencing for the first time ways we're going to use this device. And what's super great is in the IL and the Performance Center, what we're building for this room really builds on that technology and takes it to another level so that all areas, whether you're independent living and can come down here and run around, you're experiencing stuff that's really off the charts.
Yeah.
To you're an AL and you're in your chair and you're, like Gary said, getting to experience something. It's like wherever you are, you're like, wow.
It
able
is.
to do
It's a huge wow factor. It's like I said earlier, you're able to do and see things that you have always wanted to, but you've never been able to. And the experience is like no other. So I love it.
Good. Any last words of encouragement for the campus or ZoeLife or some of your?
You know, I would just say if you have any questions, if you have any concerns about ZoeLife, my biggest encouragement would be for you just to hop in and try it. You know, because this is really transformative. Not just the VR stuff, but just what we're doing as a whole with ZoeLife. It's transformative and it's positive. It's uplifting. You know, if you're looking for something to help give you that purpose, you know, if you're looking for something to look forward to, you know, tapping into ZoeLife on this campus is something that can really, really help you with this. You know, and especially in my environment, you know, in Providence Place. Let's just be honest. We know the reputation that Providence Place has on campus. You know, that's that place where you go to die. So if you think of a hopeless place, that would be the place. But no, it's not a hopeless place.
No.
And then even now, bringing this into there, you know,
Yeah.
these residents, you know, they're really getting into it. You know, it's just helping to increase and benefit them in all the ways that's necessary for them to have an enjoyable life.
That's
so
right.
this is, no matter what, this is good stuff.
Awesome.
Aw,
Well, you're
Gary,
a big piece of the
thank
puzzle,
you.
man. Awesome job.
Love having you on the show.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. What a show.
I know.
Right? I mean, every time we do one of these at the end, I'm like, that's a lot of information.
And it's so much fun. I mean, we love doing it. So
We do. And I think having Dr. Denbauer come in, explain what's been going on
That's right.
firsthand, stuff like that is super important.
It is.
And then you talk about Gary Miles.
I know.
That guy.
And the virtual reality. I mean, soon we're going to have something like that in the Performance Center. So I
And
can hardly wait.
You know, with what they're doing with that Oculus and that headset
Yes.
is so immersive.
Yeah.
And you watch people for the first time on these roller coasters, and they're falling
know.
off. And for what's coming for in the Performance Center
know.
with this grant money that we
It's
got
gonna be
allocated
amazing.
for, it's going to be out of control. Because I can't
Right.
imagine how it would get better than that.
I can't either.
But I was
so-
told it goes on to a whole nother level.
Yes, it does.
So we're super excited about what Gary brings within that beta test.
Right.
I hear our beta testers all the time over Providence, and they're like, they all love Gary because
Yes.
he does everything
Gary's
over there.
wonderful. He's
But
been here for a long time,
to
too.
watch him be able to orchestrate
That's
some
right.
of this with some new stuff and some new eyes on his building.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's super cool to have ZoeLife over here.
It
like,
is
they're just
because
excited.
it's bringing the campus all together. It's bringing Providence Place together with the rest of the campus, and we love Providence Place. We want you to love Providence Place.
We do,
So,
and they are in a good position right now with some great staff,
That's
some
right.
great leadership to really move this cultural piece down and through the
Absolutely.
building. And we couldn't be more excited to be
That's
over there.
right.
So we appreciate you guys tuning in today. Next week we got an amazing show as well.
we do, and Steve is going to have a celebrity guest next
I am.
week.
It's going to be absolutely
Yes, it
amazing.
is.
And
It's gonna
if
be
I
awesome.
can't come up with who I really want,
No.
because no,
I know where you're going.
I've got 1A and 1B, and they're both amazing.
Okay.
And they have a lot of influence here in the Valley.
Oh.
Everybody in the Valley, all the top docs, everybody know this guy or this lady.
I can
I'm gonna
hardly
leave it at
wait.
that. And
Yes.
we'll be very excited to have them in
I
the building.
can't wait.
It's going to be amazing.
All right. Thank you, guys.